BlueMetric is mission-ready water. We are world-class experts solving our clients' most challenging environmental problems. BlueMetric provides a full range of environmental consulting services supported by bespoke engineering solutions for emergency, self-contained, and permanent water systems, and is always mission-ready with a full range of in-house support. There is no successful mission without water. We are proud to partner with Atlantic Canadian Industries. We are mission-ready water.
I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds.
And I'm Hannah DeGeer from BlueMetric.
And Ray Jonkers from MERLANTEC.
I got to tell you, it's amazing to be here in the beautiful city of St. John's, Newfoundland for MARITECH 2024. A lot of great conversations happening already.
Absolutely.
A lot of people engaged in the technology of the marine sector. Ray, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I started a company called MERLANTEC Management and Engineering a little over 3 years ago. And it involves quite a few things. It's about bringing people together. It's got some 3 or 4 key areas. One would be data analytics. One is teaching, both the industry and academia, working with defense, and even reaching out as far into the energy sector and do some optimization of their microgrids.
Ray, what was your journey to get here? Like, what's your background and all this stuff?
So good, yeah. 23 years in the military. I spent 8 years as a mechanic, stoker. Then I transferred over to an engineering officer. Did 23. I'm sorry. It'd be 15 years marine engineering, and lots of opportunities in the military. I was fortunate enough to get a master's in mechanical engineering. Served aboard some of the frigates that are still around today. Okay. Aging platforms, lots of need for engineering and all sorts of work there for sure. And then I spent the last 19 years in industry. I've worked with aerospace and, of course, industries and companies connected with the marine industry, of course. And so that's been interesting. So I've got a pretty good foundation in the different sectors and kind of a broad area in marine engineering and different companies. But 3 years ago, I decided, okay, I'm gonna put my shingle out and see what I can do and see how that unfolds. And it's been great so far.
So there you go, man. You started on the plates, as they say.
Yes.
You started on the plates of the engine room and worked your way up here. What are you most excited about for MARITECH 2024?
I would say meeting people. I'm a guy that likes to connect the dots and not just on relationships and helping industry, but also with the young people in the organization. I think it's really important. I do teach through Dalhousie and St. X. Some courses. One of the courses is optimization, and some of the people I meet there, I think we have about 20% women in the class. Okay. They've gone on to work in some pretty great organizations. Some of the organizations that are here.
Can you maybe talk to us about the jobs that your students are going for after they're finished in your courses, and what your sort of recommendations and advice are for those younger folks?
Yeah. I'll start with the last part. Is my recommendations would be listen to the people once you get out there. You're in the academia world, but it doesn't mean you know everything, and they get that. And so I think it's and maybe it's from my background I bring that, but I think it's important to listen to the operators, the people in the organization, and before you dive in and think you can take on the world.
Absolutely.
Slow down. It's a journey. It's not about climbing corporate ladders. And so some of the places these students are going to, of course, in the Maritimes, there's Michelin, and there's good co-op programs. Okay. ISI, Urban Shipbuilding Incorporated, and some other ones like Lockheed Martin, Ultra Electronics. Okay. And some of the people you'll see here actually. So that it's really good to see them grow and
Absolutely.
as young people.
You must see some great success stories, right? Coming through, watching people come through your programs and the people you interact with, coming in nervous at the beginning and then getting that confidence coming out the other end.
Yeah. You can see it from first years to second years and so on. It's they do gain that confidence, which is nice to see. And I think part of it is working with getting out there in industry, getting a chance to stretch their legs and be out there and maybe bring some good tools to the table in terms of what they've learned in the courses. So, yeah.
You mentioned 20% female representation in your classes and your courses. Can you speak about maybe what you're doing or what your associations that you're associated with are doing to increase that number?
So they are. Many institutions are always trying to grow those numbers. In fact, not just academia, but Engineers Nova Scotia have this 30-30 strategy to say 30% women by 2030.
Okay.
At the same time, we've got 20% coming into the institution, so there's something that has to be done. And I think before we start making goals, we need to be realistic and make sure they're achievable. Mm-hmm. But 20%, seeing that now, and hopefully most of them do stay in the field of engineering.
Yes, for sure.
So that'll be good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's an exciting time for everybody, right? I love the conversation that, it's an open tent here, right? It's a big tent. Everybody is welcome here, and showing the opportunities that exist, I think, is the key to this stuff, right? There's great jobs here. There's a great lifestyle here.
Absolutely.
And opening that up to people, I think that's the important.
Absolutely, yeah. Just walking around last night around the booth when they were setting up for today, I saw a lot of students from Memorial University, of course, and going around. They were all smiling and seemed to enjoy, and it was good to see.
And it's interesting that they were so willing to speak and contribute ideas and even offer advice to companies that you said they might think they know everything, but they're intelligent, smart, young folks here.
And they bring that energy and they bring that kind of open-mindedness to the wherever they're going to be working. And so those organizations won't stay stale, I guess.
And I think we're seeing sort of an upward trajectory in socialization after the pandemic. People kind of hunkered down and weren't very social and had maybe some social awkwardness. But I think now, a few years after, we're seeing people coming out of their shells, engaging.
Agree.
A little bit more communicative with people in shows, especially like this at MARITECH 2024.
Yeah, agree. I see that. I see that even in the classroom, and I also through my company I teach industry. A key area is systems engineering and complex project management. But in the courses, I always try to get the students into groups and talking about after the pandemic and getting out there and trying to socialize. It's sometimes it's difficult, and so they get in these project teams, and I say it's not just in the classroom. You will be in projects when you get older, and the diversity in those the diversity of the teams in those projects is very important. I mentioned if you watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, who has the best answers is usually the audience,
right.
And so it's not it's about that collective diverse team that you bring together. So they struggle at the start getting into their project teams, but I remind them this is only the start. You will learn how to work in teams as you get older and grow with your companies.
Tell me what you're most excited about in this industry right now.
I would say the technology and where things are going. AI is a big thing. Machine learning, connecting the dots, and so connecting the dots means not just in an engineering sense, but also in the project management sense. It's this program we started maybe 2.5 years ago through Dell, teaching big companies on systems engineering, complex management, how to bring them together. It's about connecting the dots. And so with that includes things like how are we going to connect the dots between measures and analytics within project management and in engineering, and there's ways to do that. So pretty excited about a program coming up we're going to open to the public through Dalhousie University, and that is the systems engineering complex project management program. It's coming out, started probably in June or July. So looking forward to that.
And is the younger generation sort of, you talked about AI, and are they really grasping onto that and running with it? Or
that's a good question, because when you hear about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other things, people say, what is this all about? And usually it's a brochure or some sort of a magazine you pick up from Project Management Institute or an engineer magazine, say, really, I don't get it. And so what I bring to the table is, even in the second year courses, is I say, what are some tangible examples? Let's work through a problem where we can make machine learning work.
Absolutely.
And so that's where the light goes on. They say, I thought this was really difficult, and it kind of it was a black box and kind of fuzzy. And I say, no, it's not that hard.
Yes.
And so AI is kind of a name that there's so much to it, but in getting to some practical examples and showing how it works,
Yes.
I think that's where the light bulb goes off, and they say, yeah, I get it.
Listen, an absolute fascinating conversation. Thanks for being in this conversation with us and giving us your perspective. There's little doubt, man, you started on the deck plates in the engineering spaces with the Canadian Navy, and you're a PhD and you're teaching kids about AI. Fantastic. Drake would summarize it best, man. You started from the bottom, now you're here. Right on.
Thanks, so.
Thank you so much.
BlueMetric is your partner and works with Atlantic Canadian industries and organizations who are concerned about the water health of our planet and the people who inhabit it in an environmentally and culturally sensitive manner. BlueMetric joins the growing number of like-minded, innovative Atlantic Canadian companies who are changing the environmental landscape for the globe in a world-class way. World-class experts solving our clients' most challenging environmental problems. We are mission ready.
Water.